Hi, everybody. I just want to thank you all for logging in and zooming in to the presentation tonight. I'm excited to share about the link between oxidative stress and autism. And I just want to give you a little backstory about my story and why I'm passionate about sharing the link and passionate about our products that have been helping children with autism. So I had a sister named like Natalie, and she passed away a few years ago, and she was born in 1983. And in 1983, we did not know what was wrong with her. She had autism, but autism wasn't even a word at that time. So we had all these tests being run on her. We had all these behaviorals, all these therapists coming to the house. We had her in different schoolings for kids who were different. And we did all that we could to a certain extent, but we were always searching for the right medicine, the right treatment. How can we balance her behavior? And unfortunately, because she was born at a time where they didn't have the therapies that we needed and the understanding that we needed, she never learned how to talk. She never learned how to verbalize what she needed. And she had a hard time walking. Her gait was a little bit off. So we really had a hard time just really trying to find something that that helped her to grow and develop, you know, her mind and her relational activities, things like that. So, so when I joined this company a few months ago, I just started learning about how there's a major link with oxidative stress and autism. And oxidative stress doesn't play a minor role or a side role. I found out that it plays a major role in autism. So I bought this really high-tech, like a doctor book on autism, oxidative stress, and it's very difficult to get through because it's a lot of big words. But I've been reading through it, and it's been showing me all the links and how oxidative stress hurts and damages the brain of a child with autism. And so they kind of show the difference between a healthy child and their brain and a child who has autism. And so there is this white matter, which is oxidative stress, and in the early stages where the brain is developing, there was a lot of oxidative stress and white matter showing up in the diagram. And the one body part that's most vulnerable to oxidative stress is your brain. So because your brain, it requires higher levels of energy, it has higher levels of fats and irons, and so it is more vulnerable to oxidative stress. So kids with autism have higher levels of that's forming in their brain that actually damages the development of their brain. And one of the biggest areas where it's most dense is in the axon part of the brain. And the axon part of the brain is where it actually connects your language, your relational skills, your language skills, and kids with autism, like my sister, who never learned how to speak, that's because she had oxidative stress damage in the axon part of the brain. So a lot of kids with autism do not like touch. They have a hard time interacting with other people. They have to have like a certain boundary around them. They don't like a lot of like activity, a lot of noises, so they can't handle a lot of things that we can. And that's all because of the damage that was done in the axon part of the brain. So as I'm learning more and diving into our products and hearing women, mothers that have children with autism and how we have two products that have been helping them, I got super excited. I called up Christy. I go, Christy, we have to share this. I am so excited because there's something that can help these kids, grow and develop. And that's what we searched for. That's what my family searched for 29 years of her life. We just wanted answers. We wanted something where we see a development in her, and we never saw that, and that crushed us. So that's why I'm so passionate, because I know how much people and families can suffer behind the scenes when nobody realizes what's going on, and nobody realizes how you're up at night worried about your child, or up at night worried about your sister. So especially when you love somebody so much and you see them having a hard time, you see them not being able to grow the way they need to grow, it crushes you. So this is my heart. This is why I'm passionate about just getting the word out, getting the knowledge out of what our products can do. And I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. I'm just somebody that had a family member that had a sister that had it and is realizing this is helping other kids. So I'm all about just sharing what I've learned and seeing if this is something that you would be interested in providing for your family. So we have two products that have been helping, and I'm going to pass over to Christy, who is going to go ahead and share those products and explain some information and science behind how it operates. But so Christy, do you want to go ahead and share?
Sure, absolutely. This is so fascinating, Melissa. I had heard about oxidative stress gosh, about 16, 17 years ago, and its role in so many diseases. And again, autism, yeah, 16, 17 years ago, and that link to oxidative stress was not around. So I'm learning a lot from you. But I have really made it my mission to help educate people just on the very simple fact that oxidative stress is a root cause to disease now, including autism. And it's a conversation that I think is really important that we all need to be having. So what is oxidative stress? Oxidative stress is the imbalance between the production of free radicals and the ability of the body to counteract or detoxify their harmful effects through neutralization of antioxidants. So where do we naturally get antioxidants? We naturally get antioxidants from whole food, plant-based foods like fruits and vegetables and herbs and grains and legumes and beans. Those are foods that contain natural antioxidants that our body really thrives and nourishes itself on. And I know, kids with autism and even ADD, ADHD, I mean, they also need to be nourished just like everybody else. And the more antioxidants they eat, the more beneficial it is. The problem really is that our world has really changed over the years. We're not getting the amount of oxidants and nutrition in our foods when we are consuming them, such as, from our soils. We're supposed to be getting minerals and nourishments and vitamin B12 from our soils. We're getting a lot of herbicides and pesticides now, right? Our foods are genetically modified. We're also eating packaged foods and processed foods and foods in cans and boxes and fast foods, right, that contain a lot of chemicals and flavorings and colorings and sugars. And so, again, they're not nourishing our bodies. And I like this diagram of the spinach because this just gives you an idea of how our foods change. So in 1953, UCLA did a study on a plot of farmland in California, and they reported that one bowl of spinach gave our body the daily supply of iron and nutrients it needed. Well, in 1997, which was 20 years ago, they did the same study on the same plot of land, and they discovered that you now have to eat 43 bowls of spinach to get that same level of nutrients. So that's really scary. Again, that was 20 years ago, so who knows what it is, today. So many of you may have seen that ABC Primetime Investigative Report that John Quinones did in 2005. If you haven't, please get back to Melissa and she'll share that with you. But the reason we show this Primetime Investigative Report was, number one, it gives you the background on our flagship product, the Protandim, Nrf2, and how it reduces oxidative stress. And John Quinones goes and he gets his blood drawn on live TV, and 2 weeks later he gets his blood drawn again, and his oxidative stress levels went down 45% in the first 30 days. So that's huge, or excuse me, in those 2 weeks. But also this report was the catalyst that spawned other universities, institutions, scientists around the world to do their own self-funded studies on Protandim, because this is a natural pill that actually activates our body's own defense mechanisms, increasing our antioxidants. And so this was huge. So we now have 23 published peer-reviewed studies, which I'm going to get to here in a minute. So Protandim Nrf2 contains 5 plant ingredients, and you've heard of a couple, I'm sure, like turmeric, green tea, ashwagandha root, milk thistle, and bacopa. And individually, these are 5 incredible plant ingredients. But this magic is in the synergy, the synergistic effect of the 5 plant ingredients compressed in this little yellow pill, we like to call it, is 1,800 times more effective than the individual components. And what it's doing is it's activating our Nrf2 pathway. Very simply, that means it's turning on our own cells' natural defense mechanisms to crank out their own antioxidants. So what this is doing is it's lowering our oxidative stress levels by an average of 40% in the first 30 days. You guys, it has a cumulative effect, bringing oxidative stress levels down to that of an infant, is what our formulator says. It's increasing superoxide dismutase by 30%, catalase by 54%, and glutathione by 300%. You guys, you can't eat these things to increase these levels. You can only increase these levels by activating our Nrf2. So this is huge, you guys. So again, Melissa made that connection between autism and oxidative stress, and here we have something natural that's reducing that oxidative stress levels. So if you go to pubmed.gov, that's our U.S. Library of Medicine National Institutes of Health. This is where healthcare providers go when they look at studies. Well, if you go in there and you actually type in Protandim in the search bar, you're going to see our 23 peer-reviewed published studies here. These are real studies. Incredible. So if you type in oxidative stress and autism in the search bar, you're going to see hundreds of studies associating the two. And oxidative stress levels, oxidative stress, if you see on the slide right here, at this point we had 178,541 studies associating oxidative stress with about 240 diseases. So oxidative stress affects the heart and the skin and the kidney and the joints and lungs and brains, immune system, multi-organs. So you can see not only with autism, but it's going to help benefit the person in so many other ways. It's incredible. So the second product that we want to discuss is Axio. Axio is a little powder pack that you flavor your water with, and we call it a smart energy drink because we're really trying to get these kids and adults off of crazy energy drinks like Monsters and Red Bulls and Gatorades and tea drinks and all sorts of things. And kids love this, right, because it's flavored. But the key is that we've got brain food with DMAE. There's a lot of studies on the importance of DMAE in kids with autism and ADD and ADHD. We've got B vitamins and quercetin and pine bark. So it's really feeding the brain. And before I go any further, what I want to do is, again, like Melissa said, we are not experts. We're not physicians. We just know that there's a relationship between oxidative stress and autism. But we've got a couple quick videos that I want to share with you guys that you'll see real-life testimonials. Let me just click over. Melissa, can you see my screen?
I can see you.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Okay, here we go. This is a physician who's been interviewed by our CEO.
Much on is is it labeled for kids? There's not a lot of research on even baby formulas, right? That's why, but there's a liability that's there. So with kids in Axio, had the lady or individual that exposed me to LifeVantage, which was through her son with the Axio, right? Had she not giving her son Axio, he would still be struggling in school and behavior that I couldn't fix in a year working with him every week. Had I not had that happen in my life, I wouldn't have been able to know how to help and give these other kids that I got texts with all day today about kids that, have struggled in reading, have struggled with learning, have struggled in athletics, that have basically, were getting C's and D's. A good friend of mine, chiropractor friend, done tons of work with his daughter, struggled really bad in school, CD student, with the Protandim and Axio. She went from a CD student to AD student, is now serving church mission, which things that he didn't think she'd do. And this is after everything that him and I have studied and learned, and him 25 years and me 20 years. So this Axio is going to allow people to do and have their brain work in ways that it has not. And so the short answer is anybody you would want their brain to work better should drink Axio. Is there anybody that shouldn't? I really can't think of anybody.
Pretty profound, yes. And here's another mother just giving her testimonial.
Just putting him on that Protandim for the last couple months or so has really made a huge impact on him. I've seen him want to initiate play with other kids. I've seen him come up to me and ask questions and ask for things that he wants, and he's starting to talk in complete sentences when he's never done that before. And it's just amazing to me because I've never seen a progression that fast in him in anything that we've ever done before in any of his therapies. And so my second son also is going to be in speech therapy as well. And I'm anxious to get him started on the Pro Tandem as well, because I think that he's going to have similar results, because it's just been absolutely amazing for him. And for me as a mom to see him going through that process and for the last few years and being able to behave and to react and to communicate the way he's communicating is just amazing to me. And I'm so thankful to Dr. Day for showing me the Pro Tandem, and we're lifelong addicts now.
So there's the two products. The Axio, again, is a flavor for your water loaded with brain food, and the Pro Tandem's reducing the oxidative stress. And so we're seeing some really significant changes, hearing some really great testimonials on the power of the two. So Melissa, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Okay, can you see me on this?
Yes. Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. So I just want to say, I just wanted to thank you all just for taking the time to listen to this and just to be open to opportunities. And like I said, this is my passion. This is where my heart is. And I would love just to see kids with autism be able to learn and develop at a higher rate, to be able to evolve and expand and grow more than they've ever been able to in the past. And so if these products help in any way, I think it's worth a shot and a tried opportunity to try it. I think that myself, anybody should be on this already because of what it does, reduce oxidative stress. And so I think everybody should be on this already, but even more so with kids with autism. That's what I really want to focus on. That's where my heart is. So thanks again, guys, for listening. And I would love to just, get everybody on this.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.